So if you enjoy this podcast and you watch it religiously every week, then God bless you. But if you don't, then fuck yeah!
It's like a pizza crunch without the batter. It's like the wood juice without the water. You'll never get the knickers I found. What the fucking chance? Premeditated batter. Premeditated batter.
How we doing, people? Good afternoon, good morning, or good wherever the fuck yous are right now. Life is good. Life is great, and it's even better when I'm talking to my camera in my spare room in my house by myself. But at least you enjoy it. At least whoever's watching this, I hope you enjoy what I'm saying. I hope you're connecting with it. Because lately, I say this every fucking time. Every single podcast, I feel like a broken record. I'm like, it's fucking hard work. Fucking moaning. You know what I mean? I hate moaning, and I moan like fuck. It's a bit of a conundrum, innit? You know what I mean? We all hate moaning, and you ever in work, or somebody you live with, or anybody you meet in any capacity that constantly moans and groans, you're like, oh, shut up, get at it, give me peace. I'm finding myself turning into one of the people. And I say turning in, maybe I've always been one of the people, but it's only just became apparent to me how much of a torn-faced, greeting cunt that I'm a. But at least I'm honest enough to admit it. And honesty is the best policy, unless somebody's been honest with you, and then they're a prick. But life is fucking, feels like it's at a plateau. I'm kind of one of the mad wee crossroads. I'd like to say a crossroad, but a crossroad would indicate you've got an idea of what direction to go. Like a crossroad, you can only go a couple of directions. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm just out in a fucking barren desert. No man's land. I feel like Francis Ngannou when he got captured and flung into the fucking desert. You know what I mean? See, where the fuck do I go? But I suppose, but in a desert or in any kind of barren wasteland or that, it's like there is a direction you can go. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I can go straight ahead, I can go left, I can go right, I can go backwards. There's a direction. Apparent, might not be apparent what direction is best, if any. But right now I don't feel, I might be a man space. I'm a spaceman. I'm lost in space and I'm out my face. But I'm finding myself just that's doing the podcast and that. I've noticed there is 7.41 to the date 1,000 subscribers of this podcast channel. Most podcasts I do with guests as such, they're lucky if they break the 1k view barrier. Why? Why is that happening? I think there's a few reasons. I think because there's been such diverse content in this channel. I've had the documentary which gifted me various subscribers. I've done the TikTok lives. I've only done 2 of them, right enough, and one I took down quite quickly. So I did gain a fair amount of followers after that, but I'm curious. I'm like, right, where the fuck is everybody else? What are you watching? Because you see other podcast channels, their views outweigh their subscribers. I'm the opposite. I'm getting a fraction of the views compared to the subscribers. So people just aren't watching what I'm putting out. And I take the blame for that. Obviously, I take the blame for that. I'm not going to be like, yous are all pricks, because as much as I've enjoyed every conversation I've had, there's some, for the most part, with guests and such, a lot of the time I've been like, right, I'll get this person on, they'll do good views, or I'll get this person on, he's an alright cunt, this and that, and see, to be honest, it fucking stops now. And I'm going to be honest with myself, because I want to have conversations with people that I want to have conversations with, and it's no This isn't any slant on any guest. I've had some great conversations that I maybe didn't think I'd have, some I thought I would have, some I didn't have when I thought I would have, but anyway, we're right here, right now. Now, for me, to make this feel less like a chore, because as I do, I edit this, I produce it, I do all that kind of stuff, it can be quite fucking wearing. Let's see, the time I put into editing this, the time I get people, I take time out my day, I edit questions, I sit and do the podcast, and I deal with whatever problem, because every podcast, bar a couple, and I mean a couple, I've had 62 guests, if I'm right, 62 guests on this podcast. I can count on one hand, a number of podcasts where nothing's went wrong. There's something's went wrong with the equipment every fucking time. Sometimes I've done podcasts twice. I've done a podcast where the camera cut out halfway and I had to get the guy to come back the next week wearing the same clothes. I've done so many shit. I suppose that's the curveballs life throws at you, so I'm not trying to complain. I'm fucking moaning, isn't I? But what I'm trying to say is it's a lot of fucking wear and tear on your mental health, because you're like, for fuck's sake, give me a break. I'm just trying to do this thing. Sometimes you can feel you're being conspired against. Had I still been a chronic weed smoker, I'd be very paranoid. Is what it is. In any criteria of work that you might undertake, where you need to rely on technology, I'm sure you can relate to the fact that technology will let you down every time. It's technology. It's no bulletproof. It's no foolproof. You know what I'm talking about? So, with that, I put a lot into this. I mean, this has been about coming up 3 years. It'll be the third year birthday soon of this podcast. And it's sometimes I'm kind of like that when I look at the numbers and stuff like that. I'm kind of like that. Right, what am I doing this for? If I'm looking to do good views, so I'm getting a guest on the aspect of, if I get them on, they're going to do good views, and it doesn't do good views, then what? It was a kind of waste. And not a waste as such, because obviously I would have had a good conversation for the most part with most of them, but you understand what I'm saying? So one of the last podcasts I actually realised that, because see, to be honest, I should really maybe look into getting like a producer or some shit like that, but it's just, if you saw the size of this room I do it in, and I like the fact it's independent, but it comes with its challenges. Like, I need to be a producer and a podcaster at the same time. I'm having conversations with people and I'm trying to make sure the battery's not cut out the camera or the memories ran out, which fucking happens more often than not. And believe me, it's not as simple as clearing the phone. But for me to kind of level this up, I think I'm going to need to look into maybe to upgrade it, to go to a shit. See, to be honest, I would hire a studio. Would I hire a studio? I don't know. I'm fucking skint. You know what I mean? My life is expensive now, and I've not got enough incomings, and see for everything I'm putting out, I've got a lot of outgoing and putting out. So right now I'm at this stage where I'm trying to monetize stuff. Trying to figure out a way I need to make me money, because I'm fucking pratted. That's the problem. That's the problem right here. And and that's what I go back to. We've been in that kind of desert wasteland. I'm like, where do I go here? And I understand and respective of the fact I've been here many, many times before. You get phases like that. I'm sure anybody watching this can relate. That's why I tell you my issues, because hopefully somebody can relate. It might be different circumstances, but the feelings are the same. But I always like to start these and just say where I'm at. I don't know if it's recovery it's going to be like that, but I just like to say what's happening with me. I mean, share it. Share how I'm feeling, man, because usually I don't go in depth with people. If I'm talking to somebody in the street, and I talk to a lot of people in the street I bump into, and I probably do give the impression I'm wanting to be somewhere. I need to be somewhere, because usually I do. See, if I'm ever out the house, I need to be somewhere. If I don't need to be anywhere, I'm usually in the house. You know what I'm talking about? But lately I've been trying to have more meaningful conversations with people, because some golden eggs and the random strangers you meet in the street, and I hate using the word strangers because some of yous are watching this right now, as you've watched many of my podcasts, followed my content, supported me, and I'm eternally grateful. But please understand, for me, it's a first time meeting, so sometimes it's a weird dynamic for people. That I can understand where you watch somebody quite a lot, you develop a relationship with that person in a sense, and especially like if somebody like me is telling you the personal aspects of my life, what's going on, you feel like you've known me. Yeah, some of yous, when I just meet yous, I've just met you. Maybe I've spoken to some of yous online or in the comment sections, but it's very, very different speaking to somebody face to face than it is in a comment section. But I'm totally appreciative of everybody that stops me in the street. If you see me in the street and you watch my stuff, stop me, man. I'm never too busy for a quick word. And if I'm in a rush, I'll always say what's happening. I'll never ignore you. I'll never be a dick. And if I'm a dick, call me out on it. Nah, don't fucking call me a dick, you fucking prick. No, but I always wanted to do this wee segment. I always wanted to do a segment, a wee relationship advice segment. I always said I'd do it. Somebody gave me this idea today ages ago, and I feel I'm the worst cunt to ask for relationship advice, so with that in mind, I'm probably the best person to give it. Lately for me, in my situation, it's like I can talk to no females at all, and then I can get lonely, because it's quite a lonely life I live. I'm 31, I'm not in a relationship, all my pals are in the relationships, having wins and stuff. I don't feel pressured, but sometimes I'm like, right, and I'm privileged in the sense where I can do everything that I'm doing. I've got a lot of stuff to take up my free time, so when I do want to kick back and chill, I've got time to kick back and chill. But don't get me wrong, it's like the opposite sex, there's a wee longing for a bit of companionship, man. But at the same time as well, I'm like, I cannot be arsed with the fucking headache. And that's what it is. It's a fucking headache, innit? You're somebody else in your life. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of positives. There's a fucking lot of negatives, you know what I mean? And for me, some females and guys are probably the same. They need attention. And I suppose you want attention for your better half. You know what I mean? Makes you feel validated. And that's what you're looking for. Makes you feel happy, content. It shows you that they care. Me, my attention is so scattered. Neurodivergent, that's the word of the year. So I try my best. And sometimes I'm quite a fucking sheltered individual, emotionally. See me, it's like, I can be quite lovey-dovey, but I can't be as well. I've got a bit of a guard at times, and that's okay. That's alright. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for being you. They'll just try to manipulate you if they are. And if they ever do, say, listen, you're just trying to manipulate me. But that's the thing. It's like, as I say, I can go for talking. Right now I'm talking to nobody really. And I've made a point of that because it's just a fucking distraction. Because I can go between talking to neighbours to be talking to 5 at a time. And it's a full-time job. See cunts that are shaggers. It's like a job. You really need to be fucking invested. And don't get me wrong, I can maybe keep it up for like fucking a couple of days. But after that, I'm like, fucking hell, it's like a job. And then, as I say, when I'm doing everything else, I'm editing a podcast that's fucking giving me shit. I'm trying to work on other ideas and that. I'm like, fucking hell. And I forget to message people back. I see, ever since smartphones introduced that new feature where like when somebody would message you, it would come up in your notification and it would show you their message rather than you having to click into the message. The minute that happened, it was game over for me because I'm the kind of person that sees like a notification and I'll read it and what's happening, and in my head I'll reply back to it. I'll go and I'll say it back and then as if like, alright, this is what I'll say. and then I forget to send them it. And like 2 days later, I'm like, for fuck's sake. And then when it gets 2 days later, I think, I can't message them back now. I'm like, my dick. So I don't message them back and forget that I didn't message them back. And then I thought, I've patched them. I do that with every cunt. I do that with everybody. You know what I mean? There's some people I need to just go at it with some people. I just need to message them back there and then just try and cut it. Because as I say, maybe I'm just too full of caffeine at times, because I'm like, it's as if I'm a fucking bull staring at a red curtain that I'm talking about. But with birds as well, so I'm chatting to birds. I've got this mad thing, this psychological thing. You need to leave 5-10 minutes between replies. You need to leave it. You can't reply right away. You can't show that you're too keen, because that's the thing. If it's off-putting, and that works both ways, because I've been put off by somebody like see when you message somebody, and for me it's quite bothersome when it's a female that I'm maybe interested in, or just in the chatting phase. You ever message somebody, and when you sent that message, it's instantly come up seen before you've even had a chance to click off the chat? I can't go that. I can't deal with that, man. That gives me pure anxiety. And do you ever obviously get the wee 3 dots and they're replying? You've not even clicked off the chat and they're replying like that. Mate, come on, I need to put my phone down. And then that's how I end up accidentally patching people, because I click off it, and then I close my phone, put it down, and then I go, right, and do something, and then they've replied, but I've not got the notification because they've replied before I've locked my phone. You know what I'm talking about? And then you feel like the dick, and you're like, no. If you want to have instant fucking interaction, then you need to phone me. No, and another thing, man. See me, I'm a voice note guy, right? I love voice notes. See, because sitting tight, my big fucking long-winded message, and you're that to be funny, you're that to think. Voice note, blah, 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 blah. Done. Easy. Voice notes are an amazing feature that were created, that were put in chats for convenience. Pretty much. There's obviously other aspects of why it's there, but convenience, for me, convenience is the main one. I've not got the time to sit and type something, and to be fucking quite blunt, I don't want to be staring at my phone for that length of time, and I do stare at my phone quite a lot, but I'm aware of it. It's like, I go and look at my phone, put it down. I don't want to be staring at my phone, because it's quite distracting, especially if I'm on the go or I'm doing shit. I want to just, there you go, see you later. Some people just don't get that. So there's times I've fucking patched people because they're sending like 10-minute voice notes. Why are you sending a 10-minute voice note? Fuck it, if you need to say something that takes you 10 minutes, then you're better off just phoning. Do not send even a 3-minute. 3 minute is kind of, you're pushing it. See if it hits 5 minutes, like, what the fuck is going on here? You're literally just talking to yourself at that point. And I talk to myself, but when I talk to myself, I don't even fucking last 5 or 10 minutes talking to myself. Nah, I mean, unless in this scenario, but technically I'm talking to somebody. You can pause me. You don't need to reply back to this fucking podcast, know what I mean? So that, fuck's sake. So see, for that, right, be wary of people's attention spans. We must interrupt this podcast for a breaking announcement. There has been numerous reports in the area of a beauty bomb ready to glow up. And it's going to blow away you beauty therapists one appointment at a time. Why? Do you conduct business correspondence with clients via DMs? Are you sick of late cancellations costing you money? Do you just wish you could provide your service without worrying if the client has the cash at hand?
Oh, I need to go to the bank.
Well, I have a solution to your confusion. Glow Out is a service that aims to alleviate the stress involved between a client and the technician booking their appointments. appointments. Glow Out makes it easy for clients to see appointments, to book them and to pay. It takes deposits and it gets late cancellation fees, which means you won't lose out on any money. Clients can pay by card or using Apple Pay. Glow Out is also partnered with payment processor Stripe. Glow Out also helps you manage your bookings easily by using your calendar. The busier you get, the more stressful it is to keep track of who you've actually got coming in and when. Glow Out will help you do that. On Glow Out, you'll also be able to show off your portfolio, showing off your previous work so clients can check out what you've done in the past. It will also be implementing a feature in the very, very near to be future which will connect to your Instagram profile page. You will also be featured on the Glow Out website. You'll be visible to potential clients in the local area. You'll also have access to your own admin panel where you can see your account balance, generate reports, and turn your hobby into a business. Glow Out is basically a Just Eat for beauty appointments. Can't beat the convenience, can you? The mobile app for iOS and Android is coming soon. But in the meantime, for $5.99 a month, you will have access to all these features. But if you sign up using Fivo promo code, you will get the first 3 months free. You can't lack that for a bargain, can you? Give your business the glow up it needs to blow up. And glow up before you glow out. So when you're chatting to people online, it's like, focus on the one bird, or the one guy, maybe two. Unless you've got the time and you're committed, don't go any more than that. Because, and before there's any woman watching this going like, oh my god, pure guy, listen to him, talking to 2 or 3 birds. Guys are all rats. Birds do it and all. Yous do. Don't even act as if I'm full of shit. Don't get me wrong. The problem is when you're doing it and you're in a relationship, you're seeing somebody, which is quite fucking common. I was talking to a bird. I've been talking to a few, and see for me, right, if I've been talking to multiple senoritas at once, right, I at least have the decency to keep it a secret. Keep it a secret. Because you don't owe anybody nothing that you've never met. Know what I mean? If you're talking to some bird or some guy and you've never met them, it's all been online, you don't really owe them any kind of loyalty. But show them a bit of fucking respect, a bit of dignity, and don't post like you being out with some other guy or some other bird whilst you're talking to them. Don't be fucking stupid about it, man. Come on. Because in my personal opinion, right, if I'm chatting to, say I'm chatting to fucking 2 birds, and I'm out and I go on a date with one of them, I'm not going to post being out on that date on my fucking social media for them to see. Because you're shooting yourself in the foot, because if you go on a date, it might not go anywhere. You still need to have that backup plan, know what I'm talking about? And I suppose you're at that stage, you went on a date, you're in a relationship, you're on the seeing each other. I'm talking about early stages, maybe the first time you've met, there's been nothing kind of set in stone. There's not even a fucking stone. There's nothing to set, there's fuck all. But, because in my personal opinion, like I've been talking to birds in the past, right? And I've been chatting to them, and it's been flirty, it's been back and forward, and I'm like, oh, alright, and they're clearly into it, right? It wasn't a match with them in Tinder, then it moved on to WhatsApp, so there was obviously something anyway, there was some interest, and they were looking for something, so was that. But then, I've had birds that's like posting, it'll patch me, and then post that they're out having dinner and all that, drinks and all that, then they'll have the cheek to try and message me the next day. Oh, what's happening? You know, that shit. Like, fuck off. Do you think I'm a dick? Because, in my personal opinion, if I was to continue engagement with that, knowing full well that they were probably on a date, I'd be a complete dafty. And say you were to get into some form of affair or relationship like that standard's been set. You're a mug. I'm a mug. I'm not a mug. Know what I mean? I'm not a fucking dafty, especially when it comes to relationships. And that's probably why I've stayed single for so long. Know what I'm talking about? And I'm not saying that's the only reason I've stayed single, but probably a big reason. Just don't accept any less than what you're worth. And I look at people, right? Do you know these people? You might be one of them, right? If you are, please comment, because I'd love to delve into your psyche. You ever see these people that come out of a relationship, 12-year relationship, and within a week they've got a new bird or a new boyfriend? How the fuck do you do it? But do you have reserves or something? What the fuck? How do people manage it? I'm 31 years old. I've never been in a proper relationship in my life. An actual loving, caring relationship that lasted any period of time. I was in one when I was 17 and I ended up fucking in the jail. No, because I ended today. It was today we heard that it was a guy. I ended up watching my shit. She caused a lot of shit. I nearly murdered the cunt. End up in the jail. Simple as that. Regret it. But, aye. And then a year ago I was seeing a lassie, but that was it. I've never really, and see for me, what my biggest problem is commitment. I've got a fear of commitment. Got a fear of getting close to people. That's what my problem is. I don't know where it comes from. Apparently, right, here's some fucking down deep psychology for you. So I could never remember when my mum and dad splitting up. 1 minute they were together, next minute they weren't there. And I never took notice. But apparently, when you're a child, when you're born, right, it's not until the age of 3 that you're able to formulate memory. Well, there's that part of your brain doesn't fully develop till like you're 3. So the first 3 years of your life, you have no memory. But you have an emotional memory for the first 3 years of your life. So a feeling of abandonment, say you're away and screaming in a cot, screaming for your ma or dad to come and get you, and nobody comes and gets you. That feeling of abandonment, that never leaves you. The actual memory, the cognitive memory of it, might not exist. But the emotional memory will always. That's why maybe if people end up in foster care at a very young age, they've got trust issues. Like their missus goes to the pub and she says, I'll be back at 11. Her boyfriend goes to the pub, whatever. I'll be back at 11. Comes off 11, they're not back. What the fuck is she? Fucking, when is she? Fucking, all that. And it kicks out a fuck. Trust issues. But you don't know where it stems from. A lot of the time, it's emotional memory. Your body remembers it. So these things really affect us in day-to-day life. Every decision you make is a result of an experience in your life, pretty much. Whether it's a positive experience, negative, it's usually negative experiences in it, because it's our negative experiences where we learn the most lessons. So when I look at myself here and I see that fear of commitment, would we say it's a fear? It's a fear. And what am I looking for? Because consciously I'm not saying I don't want to get with her in case she fucking leaves me. There's a wee element of that somewhere. It's not in case she leaves me. It's like that acceptance. Try and be a bit extra. You try and be something that you're not. And I've done that my full fucking life. I've done that. Only recently in the past few years, and I'm still kind of finding my way out it. See, as I go back to the podcast guests, I'm wanting to get somebody because people will like this conversation. It'll be good views. And it's no. If you'd be looking for a conversation that I'm fucking interested in, and it kind of applies to the relationship. It does. Well, there's a reason why I've maybe not been in a proper relationship ever. But with that reason, There's a lot of fucking logical reasons as well, and I feel I can observe for the outside. You know what I'm talking about? So I think I'm the guy you should take advice for. But as I say, if you ever move in with somebody, make sure you've got a backup plan. Let's see me. If I will get in a relationship eventually. Me, I'm just waiting. I say I'm waiting. I'm not waiting. It comes. It'll come. That's the thing. Don't go looking for it. It will always come to you. You ever get that? Like if you're a guy battering all sorts of birds, you're trying to find the one. Or maybe a lassie, you're trying to find one. You eventually do find somebody by pure accident. You never even tried. It just happened. It all fell into place. That's going to happen for you. So don't go searching for it. Unless you want to play the field. Go play the field, but don't go looking for something because it will always come to you. But, and that's me. I'm just fucking doing my thing and I'll let it come. But when it does come, you can bet your back arse cheek that I'm going to keep. Am I going to keep this flat? I'm going to have a flat. If I move in with somebody, you can guarantee I've got somewhere else to stay. Because I'm a fuck being one of these dicks that fling the lot in with some lassie or some guy. And it's usually, I'm going to say this is a guy thing. I don't know any woman that moves in with a guy and the woman ends up homeless. I know none of them. It's always the fucking guy. So let's be real here. It's the guy that always gets fucking papped out. Even if it's his house. I don't know what's happening to me. Even if I get a house with somebody, I'm going to have a flat. Because if it ends up a fucking argument, I'll just go to my flat. You know what I mean? So you need some kind of backup like that. You need it. And it's great. Oh no, it'll be great. It'll be happy ever after. Happy ever after until you've been staying with the cunt for 6 months, 12 months and you're fucking fed up with the sight of each other. Smell each other shite, fucking. All the novelties wore off and you just fucking can't stand that sight of fucking piled up dishes in the sink. The fucking microwave's manky. The dog's a fucking smelly bastard and all. Dog keeps shagging the couch. Ripped all the plastic off it because you're a mad clean freak. You know what I mean? But you're a clean freak, but the other cunt's a manky bastard and he leaves his dirty socks lying out on the couch that you just fucking washed. And nah, you're sick of this shit because he's put on an extra fucking stone, but his pals are up every fucking... See, that's the thing. That's the shit you need to deal with. I don't. The only screaming you hear from me in my house is when I'm doing a sketch or I'm shouting at the camera. You know what I mean? My camera will not get me done for a domestic. And don't get me wrong, obviously, domestic abuse, there is no excuse. But, listen, I've been in the jail with plenty of guys that were in because they had an argument and get dragged out the house by the coppers. Or the birds made up something. And I'm not saying that's always the case. And it isn't always the case, but it can be the case. So I think that kind of fuels my kind of worry. I'm like, oh, do I want to be one of these cunts that's fucking in here? Saying that, a lot of these cunts are probably full of shit too. You need to fucking watch some cunts. Aye. Fucking had an argument with her. She burnt the pancakes, I called her a cow. She phoned the police and I get 18 months. What? You get 18 months for calling your bird a cow? No bother, mate. But, aye, just play it safe and don't put pussy in a pedestal. That's exactly what it is, man, because we do that as men. I'm talking to the men here. We do it, or even the women, we do it and all. Don't put any cunt in a pedestal. You know what I mean? Because people aren't perfect. Everybody's damaged. Here's a fucking bit of wisdom for you. Everybody is damaged in some way. See, perfection is an illusion. Perfection doesn't exist. Don't get me wrong. My idea of perfection compared to your idea of perfection will be very, very different. I might say that is perfect because it seems perfect to me. It gives me what I need, and that can be a roll in bacon. I might say I go and get a roll in bacon, I get a nice fucking well-fired roll and I get some butter on it and it's just the right amount of butter. I don't eat bacon, right, but work with me here. And then I get the bacon and I cook the bacon in that and it's just It's still a bit moist, but it's just that wee bit of crispy. It's just enough to fill it, and then the butter's melted and that. And then I put tomato sauce on it, and it's just enough tomato sauce to give it that saucy texture, but it's not enough to drown it. And then it's just melting your mouth. To me, that's perfection, right? Because that is what I'm looking for. That is the perfect bacon roll. But to me, sitting here right now, I don't eat bacon rolls, so it's not really perfect to me to get a fucking good cooked bacon roll. I'm like, that's a good bacon roll. You understand what I mean? So perfection is almost like that piece to your jigsaw. We've all got different jigsaws. So what we deem perfect isn't actually universally perfect. But end of the day, you're looking for that hole to fill. There might be a piece that fits in, but you've got a shitload of pieces left there. That's flaws, that's baggage and fucking whatnot. And that's the trade-off you need to take with it. You need to take the good with the bad. Sometimes the bad outweighs the good. For the most part, the good will outweigh the bad. You need to accept imperfections, because we're all imperfect. What I'm talking about. We've all got flaws. We're all damaged. It's all about no letting your flaws dictate your behaviour. And don't get me wrong, we all make mistakes. We all act out. We all do shit that we're not proud of. Fucking own it. Own up to your mistakes. The best thing you can do if you ever make a mistake is own up to it and just say, listen, it was me. I fucked up. Be humble. And if you need to get a fucking earful, you need to get given your character, then take it. But the worst thing you can do is run away from it. Or deny liability or responsibility. Because what does that do? You'll just try to bury it. And these things will come to the surface, they come back to you. Because if you don't take responsibility for your actions, that's not a one-off event. Because in my situations in the past, I thought I was this, I was the almighty, the omega, the great. I done no wrong. So when I did do wrong, rather than accept liability and accept that I could make mistakes, that I wasn't perfect, I would just deny all responsibility. Nah, that wasn't me. Nah, you've took that wrong, this and that. And in my mind, I was allowing myself to keep this illusion, this fucking fantasy of myself as being this perfect human being. But I was deluding myself, and it's delusion. And that's all it is. And you just continue to burn your bridges around you, because you don't change as a person. Because once you say, oh, I've made a mistake, you learn from your mistakes. I remember reading a book earlier in one of the chapters. It was talking about the higher your rate of failure also means the higher your rate of success. You need to fail to be successful. It comes with it. You need to be willing to fail in order to be successful. In a fight, you need to take a punch in order to dish out a punch. You can't take a punch. You're not going to win a fight, are you? Unless you fucking sniper cunts, but that's not a fight. It's a shite bag. In relationships, I suppose you need to be willing to get hurt to love. It's life, innit? You need to be willing to fall to get up. And I'm not saying you're always going to fall. You're always going to fail. You are going to fail in life. But if you stay at failure, go like that, fuck it, I'm not doing that again. I'm too scared to fail again. Then you failed. It's weird that, innit? If you go like that, no, what? I felt failure. It wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. What can I learn? You need to reframe it. Remember, Terry and Boyd, he said this to me, and I'll name him because I don't want to steal his words of wisdom. We were talking about relationships and how you can still care for somebody, but even though everything's went tits up, and how the damage can be irreversible. And he was saying relationships are like banana bread. They're like bananas even. You get a banana, it's ripe, it's that kind of yellow way. You get it, and that's like the relationship when it's at its best. It's blossoming. You eat it, it just tastes right, it looks right. But as time goes on, it starts to go brown and black. You can still eat it, but it's not the best. It's got flaws in that. And it goes that way when it's completely black. It's that mushy way. And you can't do nothing with it. You can't eat it. It's fucked. But what you can do is make it into banana bread. So that's kind of like relationships. They are good at the start. We all remember it when you started seeing this guy, seeing this lass, saying at the start it was fucking brilliant. Oh, it was fucking sunshine and rainbows, and then kind of the high wore off, and then a couple of things happened, and then it started to get tainted, and then you went like, and then things just started to mount. Then the negatives outweighed the positives, and then it was just fighting and arguing and fucking then splitting up, getting back together, and it was just yada yada yada. I just got to a point it just became too difficult to even try. And even though there was that kind of the feeling still there, you still had something for each other, but too much had went on. There was too much pain, too much hurt, and you had to separate and go your separate ways. Even though it hurt, you just done it because you were like, nothing else to this. You can still apply that experience to your next relationship. Where did that go wrong? What part did I play? What should I have done? Because we all play a part in everything to a degree. Everything in our lives. If you can look at what part you played, you're able to identify where you went wrong. And once you do that, you're winning at life. That's the key. That's the formula. And you want a formula in order for life. Not mean relationship. Not mean fucking passions. Life. Waking up, breathing, being alive. Every negative experience, try and look at it. Bar a few that you might be like that, right? Because you're not going to be fucking totally responsible for everything. But for the most part, you've played a part in a lot of it. Look at it. What could I have done differently? And then, once you see that, right, I could have done that differently. Boom. That's experience. You've got that. You've learned that. Life's the greatest teacher of all. But a lot of us don't listen. We don't listen. And we're cursed to make the same mistakes and repeat the same scenarios until it's fucking drilled into us. And how long is that going to take? The sooner you learn, the sooner you can apply it and master your life. Be the master of your own destiny. You just need to be willing to listen. You need to be willing to fail. Be willing. And that's not me saying you're going to fail every time you try something. But the willingness. Don't be afraid of failure. Challenge it head on. Sometimes you'll go through and not feel failure, not experience it. For the most part, you're gonna. And when you do, be grateful for it. Like, yes! I might have failed, but I've got an invaluable lesson here nobody can teach me. Because sometimes shit just goes wrong. The podcast, I'm talking about cameras cutting out. I could not plan. I couldn't even fucking fathom some of the shit that's went wrong with this podcast. But it's happened. Some shit, it's like you've been haunted by a poltergeist. Sometimes I feel like I'm fucking, this is against me, but if I fall into that mentality, it falls into that victim mentality, and I go, oh, why does this always happen to me? Oh, I'm never going to be able to do this. Doubt. There you go. You're failing yourself there. I'm failing myself there. Now if I go, right, what could I have done better? Could I have set up another camera? I could have. Could I have checked the batteries halfway? Pain in the arse, but I could have done that. Could I have stuck them on charge? Definitely could have done that. Right, so I just thought of 3 options there That's 3 solutions to 1 problem. I would never have found that if I never accepted responsibility. I could have done better. We all can do better. And once you do better, once you accept that, you fucking got it, man. So get up and get it. This is fucking, it was a bit of a roller coaster, this fucking wee podcast, wasn't it? I started off moaning, end up in relationship advice, now I've ended up in inspirational speaking. Jesus Christ, man. Fuck's sake. If I ever do fucking motivational speaking, man, cunts are in for a fucking a journey. You know what I mean? It'll be like a Reservoir Dogs film, but like a Quentin Tarantino film with the fucking ends in the middle and the fucking starts at the fucking finish. But I hope whoever's been watching this has managed to take something for it. Take something for it. Any part of it. Take something for it. And believe me when I say we need to fail to succeed. But anyway, I'm fucking starving. No ate for the gym. I'm going to go and have a wee munch. I'm going to go on with my day. But in the meantime, it's been a pleasure, people. Like, subscribe, and don't get worried. Catchies.